What's going on, guys? Waco from Revolution here with a guy that, first of all, is one of the most impressive and dynamic CEOs in the industry, Julien Tornare, but who also happens to be one of the nicest, most agreeable, warmest, and genuine people. So how are you, sir?
I'm very well. He promised he doesn't say that to every single CEO, so I really appreciate it.
No, actually it's true, and you guys will probably be reading in about a month or so the Revolution Power List, the CEOs that were the most dynamic of this year and in most recent history. There's only 7 of them, and one of them is certainly Julien. But what I love about what Julien's done with Zenith is he's also really been an example of ethical capitalism for me, which I feel that's a new world leader, you know, in terms of Zenith Horizon, which I want you to tell us about, carbon neutrality, things like E-Extreme, and even the initiative that we have today as well, DreamHers. So tell me, what is Zenith Horizon, brother?
Zenith Horizon is a program, a brand program that we really wanted to put in place. Why? Because, you know, when I took over the brand had been a little bit dusty, a little bit forgotten, and we wanted to relaunch the brand by being innovative. So of course, we've been innovative from a technical point of view, from a design point of view, but a brand, if a brand is claiming to be innovative, it has to be 360, which means also in terms of initiatives, of distribution, of communication, marketing, etc. And we have to be a 21st century brand. And Zenith Horizon is kind of an umbrella in which we have 3 main pillars. One of them is employee well-being. And I invite you to come back to Le Loc. You will see all the different initiatives we took for people to feel better in their workplace, going from the gym to the yoga courses to share the cafeteria and different things we put in place. It's a very, very different atmosphere now from a few years ago. Another one is sustainability. How can you claim to be a 21st century brand if you don't care about sustainability? And it's not now because of the shortage we have in Europe that we are reacting. It's been already 3-4 years ago that we took initiatives. And the third pillar, very important, is about inclusion and diversity. And of course, here again, we took initiatives inside the company, whether compensation, whether percentage of men, women, and working on this a lot. But it's also taking a much wider dimension, and that's why we're here tonight for the DreamHers campaign.
So Julien, tell me a little bit about what the DreamHers campaign is.
True. You know, when I came on board, we worked on the brand platform, what Zenith is all about. And what came naturally is the time to reach your star philosophy. That was embraced by so many people. I can only mention a few, but Georges Favre-Jacot, the founder, who basically had the vision to create the first fully integrated manufacturer at 22 years old. We're talking 1865. Then we had, of course, Charles Vermeau's story and many more, all the way to Felix Baumgartner, who jumped into space with the Zenith watch on his wrist. We had many people that had a dream and they went for it. So we created this platform called Time to Reach Your Star. And at that time, 2 years ago, we said, okay, but what about creating inside this platform a concept that would be dedicated to women that have been achieving incredible things in their respective fields. Could be business, could be art, could be sport, many different things. Sometimes in fields that are historically easier for men to be successful than women, you know. So we've been really working to promote that, and here is the second big event. The first one was last year in Madrid, and tonight here in Singapore, we are going to welcome 6 DreamHers that you're going to meet. They will tell you about their stories. They will tell you about their journeys, because we are much more interested in the journey than the celebrity or the achievement itself. Is how, when you want to reach something from a dream, you go to make it real. And I think these women are very inspirational. And not only for women, for men and women. They really give you the sense of talent is not enough, but how much hard work you need to put to get to their achievement. So that's a great platform in line with inclusion and diversity, because it's about women empowerment, and give us a stage.
Phenomenal. You know, one of the watches that I was most impressed with recently was the Chronomaster Pink. Like, I love the message of this watch. I love the design of this watch as well, which reminds me a little bit of the pièce unique that you donated to our charity auction last year for the Pink Dial campaign. But I love the whole meaning of it, and I love the fact that this is one of the most successful models now in sports chronographs. Tell us about this timepiece.
Yeah, again, I mean, we wanted to do something, and the Pink Ribbon Month is a very important event for us. It means a lot to all of us, and we wanted to do something concrete. So we decided to launch this Chronomaster Original with a very nice 3-tone of pink dial. That's quite incredible. It's 38 millimeters, totally wearable. I'm actually wearing it from October 1st until October 31st. I don't have it here because I'm displaying it during the event, but in a few hours I'll put it back on my wrist. And the concept is quite original because it's not a limited edition. It's a watch that you can buy online or in our boutiques from October 1st midnight until October 31st midnight. That's it. We will honor every single order taken between these two dates. Not before, never again, that's it. So it's a new way also to, you know, not limited, not 2 years, 3 years, 1 month.
Oh, I love
that's
that.
it.
That's super cool. Well, so guys, you heard it. October 31st is the last date that you can.
Still have a few days.
Exactly,
but
exactly.
not many.
But I would just order it tonight, you know, just to be safe. So, you know, I feel that they could teach an INSEAD masterclass on how you have built Zenith up over the course of your tenure here. You know, you've been so good at looking at what are the fundamental assets of the brand, the chronometry, the designs, especially the initial ones from 1969, but then connecting them with a broader universe, whether it's Lupin or Hodinkee or Aaron Rodgers or the Pink watch. Tell me a little bit about how you're able to take the core values of it and plant it in a world that makes it bigger and bigger in terms of your audience.
Right, you know, it's I would say, it's not easy, but it's easier when the heart is great, when the genes are fantastic. And when I got onto the brand, I found an incredible brand with a great heritage, with the famous El Primero. And I remember one of the first questions Jean-Claude Biver asked me during that day, he said, is it a strength or weakness to have the El Primero? And I said, it's a great strength. It's not because the branding is a bit weak that we have to kill the movement. It's the opposite. We have to build the brand to come on top of this incredible asset that how many brands would dream to have. So that's basically the philosophy we took. And again, the idea is really to increase the brand awareness, to get more people to look at Zenith. Because if you look at Zenith inside, again, the heart is incredible, and usually people fall in love with the brand. When they look at the product, they fall in love with the product. When they get into the manufacturer, they say it's the best visit they've ever done. The thing is to attract more people into the brand, because competition is tough. And that was our job. That's why we took all these initiatives, is to make the brand be a 21st century brand, highly dynamic. And believe me, we've done so much, but I still feel like I'm 20 years old. I still feel like the future is ahead of us. So we have plenty of great projects. And you'll be part of them.
You're very kind. I want to ask you about a watch that you dropped last year, which I think has now become one of the key references, not just for Zenith, but for sports chronographs. And is also a great example, as you were saying, that you can take the El Primero and create different permutations of it, like a 1/10 of a second display, in the incredible Chronomaster Sport. When I saw this watch, I remember back in the day, Günther Blumlein had a watch called Il Destriero Scafusia, the war horse of Schaffhausen. I was like, this is Il Destriero Le Loc, because this is going to be the war horse. Tell me about this.
Yeah, you know, it was a long process. You know, we were enjoying great success with the Defy collection, and I knew from day one that Chronomaster was so iconic to the brand, but we needed, again, to make it look younger, more contemporary, and remove the dust on that collection. And that's what it took us a couple of years with Romain Marietta, that you know and appreciate well, to think about all the codes, to think about models that we had done in the 60s, even before the El Primero, 60s, 70s, and try to pick up the best of every single watch and to come with this incredible watch. That's true in 2021 when we launched it, just when COVID gave us a little space to do it, we did it, and it's been a tsunami. I mean, overnight, literally overnight, I got phone calls, email from Asia, from the US, and it was a year and a half ago, and it still continues. So I think we touch people, you know, we touch people in their heart. When they think Zenith, they think about that kind of watch. And
it's amazing because
that's success.
You almost would imagine this watch has been in existence already for 20 years.
Yeah, of course.
When you look at it, you're like, but because it's so familiar and somehow, but it's, you know, it's so Zenith at the same time, right? I mean,
we didn't reinvent the wheel. I mean, the bracelet was already used, the buckle was used, the dial, the 1/10 of a second also, the 3 colors, sub-dials. I mean, everything is just the balance between all those. Which size, what kind of material, bezel, ceramic, not ceramic. I mean, it's really a game, and we did quite a few attempts. We tried to mix up, and when we look at that one, we said, this is the one. and literally, we often disagree with Romain. On that one, we immediately agree.
You know, I have to say, you've got one of the most dynamic teams with you as well. Romain's amazing. Even Laurence, the head of your archives, is amazing as well. And her knowledge was just mind-blowing. I remember, and this is maybe the last question, you know, you've done some extraordinary collaborations. One of my favorite was the one you did in collaboration with Philips and our friend Kari Voutilainen for these incredible observatory grade movements, right? 135-0. tell me, like, you know, like, what does that mean to you? How do you choose your collaborators?
It's a difficult thing because we've done quite different ones, but we need people that have passion. We need people that are 300% in the project. Because we're a short team, because we need to make it a success, and I'm really testing. At the beginning of any collaboration, I test, you know, if we will go there all the way successfully with our partner or company or whoever we partner with. And at that one in particular, Philips, we had already collaborated on some limited edition during the 50th anniversary of the El Primero. It's been great success. I know Oral, I know Alex Godby, also passionate for years, and we knew each other very well. Carrie, I know him because he's a legend. He's one of the best, for me, a top 3 independent watchmaker today. And we had to find a top watchmaker because, as you remember, the movement was raw. It was not supposed to be put in any watch, any case.
It's not finished at all.
So we had to work on the finishing of the movement, on the dial. So it's almost like making a new watch. And for that, I wanted someone in the top 3, and he was my first choice. I approached him. First, he told me, no, thank you, Julien, but you know, I have a waiting list. I cannot do that, which I expected. And I insisted. You know me a bit, I insisted a bit. I called him a couple of times. Then we saw each other. And when he saw the movement, he actually realized that he had been working, when he was in Finland, we're talking decades ago, on a 135, not those ones, but the commercial edition.
Right.
And so it rang a certain bell to him, and probably at some emotional level, I would say, because he called me back and said, you know what, the project is so incredible, I want to be part of it. I said, thank you so much, Gary. And that's how he started. So, you know, when he told me, yes, he's a man you can trust, of course, and immediately I thought it's going to be a great success. And I was so lucky for him to accept, and then Philips also helped a lot in this collaboration. We're very excited. That's how it started. But you know, it's not the end, because we are basically presenting the unique piece in a few weeks in Geneva at the auction.
That's very exciting, and again, for charity, so
Yeah,
I love it, you know. Brother, thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you
You're a great
very
guy.
much, Wei. Always a pleasure. This guy is incredible, I'm telling you. Unique in the watch industry.
You're very kind, sir. Thank you. Cheers, bro.